Peace be upon you. All power is to oppress people. African power to an African people, and black power, man. It's your brother Yango. Just sitting here, I wanted to have a quick build session and a rap session. Open it up. Hopefully, my man Son will join us, and we can go back and forth in the discussion. Maybe some other people. I didn't have a chance to call Che or Seduction. Now I really wish I would have to have them on, but I just wanted to come in and rap and spend some time, and preferably we'll get Nundy on a little late. I know when I had spoken to her earlier, the storm had knocked out her power, so we'll see what gets to cracking with that. As for me, you know why I said I wanted to come on and rap, because I have been having a blast in these YouTube streets. I had no, oh, let me drop this link, yo. I had no idea that hold on, give me a minute. That YouTube was this funny. That you would actually have people putting things out there that are so fanciful and far-fetched, and say it with a dead ass serious face. I think that is, to me, that's the funny part. I mean, I hear some of the most outlandish, and I'm not mad at anybody for contributing any idea when you talk about peace. What's cracking, Mellow Cap? When you talk about the advancement of black people. Listen, I'm One Tribe Initiative all day. One tribe. Over here, Unknown Tribe. Like we run out of Nandy's camp, Unknown Tribe, and One Tribe Initiative. I'm one tribe. I know that black people are not, like you've constantly heard me say, we are not monolithic people. And I'm always saying this because no matter how much we say it and how much we reiterate it, you still have people that try to lump us in like cattle, like herd, with this herd mental mindset that we all move in one direction. You and your son constantly going to get the people that push these theocracies and other bullshit ways of having the people to govern themselves, or saying that this would enable the people to govern themselves. You know, and what's crazy is like they push it, and when I say with straight face, they really expect you to swallow it. Hook, line, and sinker. I mean, you're sitting here listening to every hook, crook, bump, every type of way that it could quite possibly go wrong, or more than possibilities. Historically, you're showing them through sociology. Sometimes I hear the brother, and I've seen Son even go through dietary and psychology, showing them where applying yourself to these systems is just destructive. Yet our people can't break out of the box. We've been so far beat down to a degree, and we see it in our women. It's reflective in our women's attitude towards us, in our need to feel like we have to defend ourselves against our women, and show what manhood is and defy man. The fact that we have these discussions, which are very necessary, nonetheless saddening. I'm not downplaying their importance. I'm just saying the fact that we're having these gender discussions within our already turbulent, conflicted struggle only convolutes it even further. It only adds another dimension and dynamic to it that initially wasn't ours. Now we find, but this is what I mean when you have been pushed a philosophy or a way of life. And I heard Domo explained it one day. I was listening to the argument lead. And I was like, damn, he's really breaking that down when he talked about society and how society works, and how society, through the way that it's instructed to operate, begins to you unwillingly or willingly, you willingly, due to just cultural understandings, participate in it. It's not a matter of like, I'm not going to do this. You just participate in it. And I thought that was heavy. So we start participating in it, and us being at the bottom end of it, start to look to our oppressor as having figured it out. His way must be the way. This has to be right while he's on top. Even to the point where I found in one of my conversations with the young brothers, that even to the point where they were trying to see, or maybe not trying to see, maybe they do actually see good in nepotism. I thought that was the craziest.
Jesus fucking
Son,
Christ.
what's good, man? I'm on here giving a whole dialogue. What's
Man,
good, brother?
I'm still shaking my head on that nepotism. But like you said, the brothers, they just on the spot read the definition. Oh, that sounds good, and ran with it. But see, the thing about and Swab ought to be ashamed of himself, because in the background he has a red, black, and green flag. We don't only talk about things being written down in paper, but we're talking about practical applications that we have studied. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I give the stance that a theocracy is not a good governmental structure, I can point you to Saudi Arabia. I can point you to Nigeria. I can point you to Yemen. I can point you to Qatar. I have actual countries today that I can point you to. And brothers, if they see the conditions and the structure, they'll be like, hell no. Don't want no part of that. Don't want no part of that. Yeah. So, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, you're right. But what gets me, one thing I will say about black people is, to our credit, we think we can do destructive behavior, or we can live other people's cultures better than they can. See, the reason they'll tell you those theocracies don't work is because they're not the original Arab. They're not the original Jew. That's why that don't work for them. Black folks, boy. I'm telling you. We think we can do other people's culture better than they can. I'm telling you, man.
God.
So when they see these, and it's the same with, when you go into nepotism. First of all, man, that whole exchange, I was thrown back by Suave's attitude towards me. I found it funny. I was all kind of little extra shit dummies or something like that.
Right.
And I get tickled because the more he talk, I don't have to call him a little blockhead or now later head child.
Or
the
just
more he spoke, it showed. And when I was saying, brother, you can't possibly understand, don't patronize me or don't assume I don't. If you backing nepotism as good for the people, you damn sure don't understand what you're talking about. Right. And I don't care what computer I get, I will accept that debate. I don't care what I get.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'm going through some very serious personal issues. Very serious. I got to fly to Chicago. I got to do a lot of shit. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to work it. But I got to figure that, one, for my honor, because Negro don't know me.
Right.
And I felt the degree of hostility coming from all out of my name. We hadn't even escalated to that level. First, let me hit you with a couple things first, brother. Damn, let me earn being a dummy or a sucker. Let me earn them epithets, nigga. Let me touch your nerve. Damn, I felt offended because I had just come on. I was like, damn. That's one. Secondly, scholastically, I know you're wrong. I know you're wrong. I marvel at his arrogance. How do you just find out what a word is and you're so confident in your ability to debate? Listen, that should be maybe applauded, but sometimes confidence can come off as arrogance, especially when you're on the wrong end of the debate. And I have to find a way to take that. If not, I hope someone takes it and I can feed them the information. When you talk about, and I'll touch on it a little bit. I don't want to go too deeply into it because Nundy has put nepotism in her title. So I don't want to go too deep.
Okay, cool.
But when you talk about nepotism as opposed to the people, like I said, is it good for the people? I think what had happened is exactly what you said. They looked up the definition. You know how under the definition, usually they have these little
Yeah.
questions. And one of the questions was, because I had to look it up. I was like, where's all this bravado coming from? Where's all this extra surge of fucking testosterone coming? Bro, you play, man, stick to the video games, big boy. So I'm like, you know, where's all this coming from? So I had to look it up. And I seen, you know, the definition, and he said that definition adequately. I think it was, and this is just off the top of my head, one who has power, influence, and possesses power, influence, and shows favorability to family members. Okay, that was right and exact as far as what they had given. Then to go under it was like those questions, and one of them was nepotism bad? And when you click on it, it said no, especially related to business. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But that wasn't the question. Was nepotism bad for the people? Now, when related to business, private ownership is not the people.
Right.
So
yeah, even a private island. Yeah, even
if you practice nepotism, it's good for the private owners, for that family. But the people, it is so devastating for the people that shit, it's a federal law against nepotism.
That's right. Oh,
it's a house ethic law against that. So I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to go look up nepotism in like business. And you find one of the biggest businesses talking about nepotism was the South Korean giant Samsung.
Right.
Lee Jae Young. He said nepotism damn near ruined Samsung, and he promised a decade of practice, and he promised that he would be the last of his family owners of Samsung.
Oh shit!
His children would not run Samsung.
Wow.
And this was a private ownership, but as far as businesses and the people, public businesses have laws against nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
They have a public accounting oversight committee, and their job, one of their jobs is to prohibit. One of their things is to prohibit certain business relationships that can present conflicts of interest.
Right.
I mean, they got laws passed about this shit, son.
Oh yeah. So just like they have the Constitution that goes against the theocracy.
Right.
It's in the Constitution. Yeah. Separation of church and state. It's in the Constitution. I don't know why people always want to say, oh, well, this is a Christian nation. And that. No, it's separation of church and state in our goddamn Constitution. Well, I don't know why the niggers don't want to read that.
Boy, we got a concoction. Like I said, we won't look at, and this is how they're killing us. They put shit in our face.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon seduction. Jump on the panel.
Yes.
I said, you just listening in. I'm pulling. I'm persuading. I had spoke your name. I said you might pop up. Jump on the panel if you have an opportunity. This really wasn't a debate. I had popped up on the Argument League. There again, shout out to the Argument League. Shout out to SVDL and all this debaters and shit. You know, I have to get my thing in order so I can jump in there and get down with the get down, because it goes down. Right. Check it out, man. If you haven't subscribed to Solar Vision Debate League, check it out. It really is interesting. And some good debaters and some good debate topics. But this, I had happened to be on Argument League. And the brother who hosts it, usually the brother Suave, is who I'm talking about. And like I said, I sensed the hostility when I first came on.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Yeah,
I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
But I usually like to be cordial, and
of course,
I want to at least earn some hostilities.
That's right.
We have done something to you.
I love it. I love it.
It shouldn't be like that, brother, my beloved. So, but taking the nepotism stance, really, I go back to that. It really is just, to me, a case of, us really not knowing what's happening. not really being involved with liberation politics, but
Hmm.
with more integrationist politics. And when you're involved with integrationist politics, you look at the people who control that whole integrationist society,
Right.
which is white people. So you naturally you think that their formula is the formula to success, not
Mm.
understanding the immorality and the corruption and the greed that you're taking on
Right.
when you adapt that way. And even and what we do, since we don't fully grasp it,
Hmm.
we try to take it and say, well, it works for the white man, it must work for us. Not even,
Wow.
like I said, fully understanding that this white man understands it doesn't work in his government and it doesn't work in his public business uh affairs.
Right.
Just like you talk about that theocracy,
Hmm.
that white man understands that that doesn't work. If
Yep.
you think that this is a Christian nation, this the church is up for sale.
Absolutely.
The fuck? Everything's up for sale. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, whatever. Hindu, everything has a price tag on it in America.
Hmm. Right.
Church and state. What the I mean, Christian nation. Please, right now, the Christians just generate millions. They have the
Right.
strongest lobbyists. They have more business interests and investments. White Christian evangelists.
Hmm.
You know, they're unified on white supremacy and white power a little more. So that's the concentrated effort. And then just generally, you know, Christianity is an instrument of white supremacy. So just generally, the everyday white person generally is going to be, if not a practicing Christian, a Christian by, so what we used to call in the gang world affiliation, association, Holmes.
Hmm. Association. Oh, but Yanga, you know, I gotta take this advantage. You just said something that I gotta take advantage, right?
Okay.
You just said, did you say not the church is the most powerful lobby
Yeah.
or one of the most powerful
One
lobbies?
one of
Okay,
one
okay,
of
all right, all right, all right. You know, I was about to throw the food lobby in there. They
yeah,
are
yeah,
kings.
yeah,
The
yeah.
food lobbies are kings. Okay, I just
Well,
want to make okay.
what I would say to church, I don't know as a entity because I don't know what one specific thing they back. Like I can't
Oh,
really
okay.
think of one specific, but I know as far as being uh venture capitalists, as far as being capitalists who invest, you know,
Okay.
those white men are usually in the church, and especially that
Yeah,
strong
yeah,
right Christian
yeah,
evangelist movement. Those are
yeah, yeah,
business owners and shit like
yeah.
that.
I
You
can't
know,
deny that.
so
You're right.
right. But I don't know as moving as a unit what they now I know like the food, like I know one of the has a big lobbyist is the sugar people.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
biggest drugs. You talk about
yeah.
sugar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, without sugar and salt, you probably wouldn't like the meats that you eat.
Mm, yeah. But
In
there's
fact,
no
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard the regulation for the portioning and the usage of sugar in certain products is just there's no carte blanche.
Regulation. Yeah, yeah.
Right, no
Hmm.
regulation. So
Yeah.
I had seen some on YouTube. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I so wish I could because it was about sugar and
Yeah.
crazy, son. When I tell you crazy, man, God. So look, it was talking about basically it said if another country had introduced sugar to America, we would have taken it as chemical warfare. Real shit. The addiction to sugar, the destruction sugar has, the addiction to sugar, they say, is out of this world. And they say, furthermore, we go so far as to target our children by putting this drug in the brightly colored candy wrappers and putting it eye level. We're
Right. Yeah.
specifically targeting our children for addictions. And believe me, I can really believe sugar is an addiction.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Without they, I mean, the FDA, yeah, they know it. They know it, man. But like I say, Palms agrees, man. They know a lot of things. It's a lot of things they not telling us, bro. A lot of things they not telling us, but they just, I mean, number one, the one most important thing they not telling us is that, yeah, it's been undeniably we are omnivores. We're omnivores. I mean, I'm sorry, we're herbivores. Did I say omnivores? No,
That's
that
what you
we are
said.
not. Yeah, yeah, we are not omnivores. We are herbivores. But
Uh-huh.
because they would lose so much money, they will lose so much money.
Absolutely.
They are so invested. I mean, you talking about if you were to go, let's just say if the country were to just turn plant-based tomorrow, you talking about billion-dollar industries that have projected profits for the next 50 years.
So what you're telling me is that we're so greedy that we will lie about the natural makeup of human beings, that you're saying that naturally
Yes,
we're vegetarians.
we're
We're
vegans.
herbivores. Y'all
We're
like to use those
herbivores.
scientific words. We're
Okay.
herbivores. Okay.
No
And,
problem.
and
No problem. I'm
so
with you, brother.
and so you're saying based on that dollar, that society, the government, everybody has lied to us in saying
Yes.
that, because listen, what I'm thinking someone's gonna hit you with, son, is what
Hit
about
me.
protein? What about
Pro.
protein that comes from
That's the
that
easy one.
good meat?
Man, why you keep hitting me with all this elementary shit? You get
Hey,
protein from your legumes. You get protein from broccoli. You get protein from most of your fruits and vegetables has protein in it. But if you just want to, if you want about 627 cc's if you just want the daily allowance, just eat some beans or eat some legumes. You get your protein and all the above. That's so element, man. I hate when people hit me with easy shit. I'm waiting for the hard hitting. That's why I can't wait for this debate. We got canines and where you get your protein, man, that shit is so elementary.
yo,
That
if
kind of
I,
shit is not on my level, Yanga. You know this.
hey man, listen, I had the privilege of you running through your debate with me, and we're not gonna give away all the goodies, but I'm gonna tell you this: it's gangster.
Oh, thank you,
It,
brother.
it is gangster. It is gay. It had me rethinking some things.
Hey, it had your
Yeah.
girl upset. What?
Oh man. Man,
Hey,
hey
yo,
man.
I
I'm
almost cost
telling you, man.
Yanga his
Hey
dinner.
man. I'm telling you, coming with that. You coming with that fire. But like I
Yeah.
said, we're not gonna give away. We definitely not gonna give away the goodies. We
Hey,
definitely. When is that debate, by the way?
I believe February 4th. I believe. Yeah, February 4th. Unless I can get Solar to move it up. I'm gonna ask him and see if we can move it up because Buddy has a whole bunch of debates lined up, but I haven't been seeing him debate. So I'm like, what's going on? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing his debates. I don't know. But as far as I know, it's February 4th. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can get it moved up. If I get it moved up, you can be on. You're gonna be the first person I tell.
Please, man, please do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that. Like I said, man, your debates are always interesting. I think you come from a perspective, especially with this, that I believe one of the things that gives you a boost in your debates is just like I said, the perspectives you come from. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love the last debate you did, and I blow you up a little bit because you're my boy.
Right.
When you came about which one should black people have first, health or wealth, there,
Yeah.
why I'm gonna applaud you and pat you on the back is because you delivered another decisive blow to the folly of capitalism,
Oh
to the
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
foolishness of putting wealth before your health. I loved how and I don't think they saw that coming. I don't think they saw one of the killer points was the fact that while you're going out getting wealth, that $1 billion you're spending on health is wealth you already have.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
wealth coming out of the community. I
Yep.
thought that was killer. I thought it was killer how you tied in how you
Well, I
call
got
it.
to give that credit to you, bro. Come on, I got to give that credit to you, brother. You
I
know I'm gonna give
appreciate it.
credit where
Salute.
credit is due, brother. Yeah, you know that.
Salute.
Come
We
on.
built
Yeah.
together.
Oh yeah.
how you tied in
You
the
are the capitalist killer. You are the every time. That's why every time I run across a capitalist, I make sure I bring that plate to you, brother, because
I
you are
appreciate it.
you are the capitalist killer.
Hey
You
man,
are the
I
capitalist killer,
I
man.
try to give them hell, man. I try to give them
You do,
hell
brother. You
because
do.
if you are not just a revolutionary, not only believe in revolutionary politics, but a black nationalist who believes in your ancestors.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you could advocate capitalism, really saying, oh, I stand on the shoulders of my agungun of my ancestors and
Right.
yada, and you're advocating a system that used your ancestors. Okay, we could go into the argument if it was built on the backs of our ancestors, but you cannot debate if our ancestors were instrumental or not in substantiating it, entrenching it, and furthering it in development. You can't deny that. Impossible.
Right.
Impossible. So I make it my business to try to bust heads when that pops up because it is an affront and an assault to my ancestry. Not just does it make horrible economic, political, and social sense, it's horrible. It also is an affront to me personally on the level of ancestry.
Right.
So hell yeah. So I appreciate that. But going back to that capitalism, also the other point we're proving out, I loved the fact what'd you call them, the Medicare Mafia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he thought I was
I
joking.
thought that
Shit,
was
people
dope.
were like scratching their head. I said, no, only a black nationalist will understand that term. I already knew
Yeah.
what I said. I know Yanga will get it, but the rest of them, they're going to scratch their head for a minute.
They're gonna scratch their head for a minute.
Right.
It's hard to wake up and find out you've been extorted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that you're being extorted medically, and
Yeah.
guess what? You're doing it to yourself.
Whoa. Woo. Damn.
You're medically allowing them to extort you.
Yeah.
You're doing everything they put in. You're eating, you're gobbling it up. You have this bad health, and you're going to where they have the cure, the remedy. They're the Medicare Mafia.
Mm-hmm. And not even
Well,
the cure. They just have a
you want
they
to
have a
cure,
tip.
don't you? Ah, how bad you want to get it fixed? Yeah,
I was trying to do my Marlon Brando impersonation.
I tried it. I slaughtered it. Ah, ah. Yeah, I can't do it Italian.
You did better than me though.
He want here. Give him a color. Give him a cannoli. You want a cannoli? Don't let me do it, because I am about. I will stereotype of ethnicity. I don't give a damn. Yeah, you want a mozzarella? I I don't know, but they are the Medicare Mafia.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are, and we play into it. So I thought
Mhm.
that was deep because the whole thing about capitalism, especially from the position we play it, and I heard one of the brothers holler it out, and I couldn't agree more, is consumer capitalism.
Mhm.
So in consumer capitalism, you are infantile.
Mhm.
You're a baby. In consumer capitalism, you're totally dependent on the system. You're dependent on the system for your food. And guess what? When just like a baby, when you feed your baby and it doesn't sit right, you have to burp the baby, give
Mhm.
some, make the baby bowel move.
That's right.
Same with the med. They feed you, then you're sick, you can't poo, you gotta go, you got gas on your stomach. The Medicare has to burp you,
Mhm.
give you something to make your bowel move. You have totally and completely made yourself infantile, depending on the system. Where's the fight? So we have to fight back, and we have to question everything. We have to question, re-question, check, recheck everything we use, like these theocracies, nepotism, putting wealth before health. We really have to. I think the first thing is coming to grips with what has happened to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, seduction's back. coming to grips with what has happened to us. Peace, seduction. Let's get on here. And once we come to grips with that, realistically, then we can begin to look for solutions that aren't defeatist, that aren't just give up solutions, that aren't solutions just, well, you know, I'm gonna die anyway, or who cares? Or if you can't beat them, join them. We won't look for a similarist or accommodationist. Still, well, you know, they did give an inch.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll start when we come to say, hey, you know what happened to us was a crime. You know, like I do hear people say it happened. I'm not going to downplay it to the degree to say that I'm not affected by it, but I'm not going to hold it in my life to the point that I'm paralyzed from it. You know, it's just a sounding board. It is a very real bump in the road in the development of the African, the new African, the Black African here in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and once it's in, and I think once we embrace it like that, then we'll start looking at every instrument used to subjugate us, and instruments used for our freedom, and or the instruments that can be used for our freedom, and nothing will be off limits to bring to the table. I'm not mad at them for bringing nepotism to the table.
Right.
Here's what I am saying though. We should have evolved past that point. To still be willing to defend that just shows that there's some work to be done. I ain't mad at it. It just means there's some work to be done. It means this shit. You know, we have to dust off some things, man, come back. Like I said, I can't wait to get back to the A to handle some of my personal affairs, to really be able to jump into this debate thing like I want to. I ain't got some people on my motherfucking crosshairs now, though, brother.
Oh yeah, I know, brother.
Oh,
Goddamn, why?
oh,
And why his dumbass goon put himself at the front of the goddamn line? Goddamn,
I got some people in my crosshairs.
Yeah, man.
I'm here
yeah,
now.
man.
I'm here
Yeah,
now.
man. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of business to set the record straight, to reiterate, to punctuate, to stamp my point that I do believe nepotism. I hope that I can get that debate with nepotism is terrible for the people.
Absolutely.
But also just on a personal thing, because I personally felt tried to a degree.
Right.
And I don't think any action I had done had warranted that. But I'm not soft-skinned to that point. I just believe, okay, that's how we doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised too how hostile he came. I'm just like, what the hell? What's going on? Yeah, I was just like, what the hell, dude? That first of all, that's not necessary.
Hey, man,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe was it WWE? I don't know. Maybe it was. I just, I don't know, bro.
Be honest, I think it was something. It was something that was going on. I'm not going to get into all of that.
Okay.
It was some other shit going on with him and other debaters and allegations and a lot of other shit. And I think he was frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, understood. I get that, but we not. Yeah,
I want to come on the debate thing. I want to bust heads on the debate thing. I'm going to be an ass via the debate. All of that other stuff, man. I wish him well on getting his character established. If people are coming at whatever that personal shit is or whatever, I wish the league well on clearing that shit up. That's very important, man. The league has the potential to do great things and to be a wonderful place for up and coming debaters to exchange intellect and ideas. I encourage that type of shit. I hope that the allegations of corruption and all the other shit that is floating around are quickly put to rest. I have the utmost confidence in the commissioner and the judges and the people working on the shit that they will figure that shit out. But with that
let's talk about that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's talk about that. I mean, that's originally what I came on there for, just to figure out. That's why I went on that panel to find out what was going on. And I was referring to nepotism as far as Anon, because he's a Hebrew Israelite, one of the judges is a Hebrew Israelite. I was referring that to be a form of nepotism. It don't have to necessarily be family members. It could be people part of your church organization or your belief system. It could be your fellow Muslim. You know what I'm saying? That could be a form of nepotism.
Right on. What's up, Lex? You can jump on if you want to, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's yeah. So
but you know what more? You know what that would be probably called more of?
What's that?
It probably would be called more cronyism.
Okay, crony. Okay, crony. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, that's cool. I mean,
but I get where you go. Right.
Y'all can see me now. Okay, cool.
Cool. What's going on,
Seduction?
Hey, you on the phone? I could tell. I could tell if I couldn't hear Black Sun. I didn't know if he was on the phone, and I didn't know if this thing was working right because I have to use the cell phone. My mouse on the computer decided to shit on me, and I can't get another one right this second. So I saw y'all could use it on the cell phone, so I figured let me see if I can do it. Now, I'm not the smartest crayon in the box. What I want to say was, I got a couple things to say. Today's me and Che's first 1 year anniversary, and it's his C day. So that's
congratulations!
Yeah. It's really tight because it's really hard. Nah, not yet. He gonna be here a little later. Like he over there picking up. We live in Colorado, so if it's your birthday, you bring your ID to a dispensary, and they come off with like a free pre-roll. You can do it at the liquor store too. They give you like a double shooter or something for free. If it's your birthday, right? For reals. And so he over there making his rounds. He got like 6 dispensaries. That's what he does. And that's what we did his last birthday. And it's our anniversary. And I don't know, man. He's just talking about going somewhere like my sister invited us over for dinner, but I was like, is that really what you want to do on your day? Hold on a second. I didn't used to be in front of the computer. So I'm like, so what you want to do? Let me know. But I'm gonna jump on Yeager's panel.
Right. Tell cuz definitely get that shit cracking on his C day.
Yeah. He over there. He's all happy. Dude, he got pictures everywhere. Huh? Yeah. He in the wrong side of town too right now, just straight loped up. Like, all right,
whatever. Birthday. Now, don't look up.
He's feeling it on his birthday. He run that place like he got that little area locked down like the Carter. Like he just locked it down. They know better.
That's what's cracking. That's what's cracking.
I was gonna tell you. What I was gonna say was, so I caught the beginning and everything of what you was talking about. You got on a show and some of us, we always we always feel it when people are acting petty, real, I don't know, insecure, I guess. So when you go on certain platforms, they might find some reason to pick on you or whatever. It's usually at the end where they start being derogatory and attacking stupid things. It's because they ain't got nothing left to, really get at you with. Right. And even I know that. Like, I experience that all the time, you know what I mean? And it'd be like, in my mind, that's a challenge. That's something I like to fuck with too. Like, I even like to humiliate a motherfucker, especially because I look like this. I got to work real hard at the clown session. Yeah. It's a challenge.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. I'm from the old school, man. I'm from the school of Dudleys. I rode with, I'm actually like really from those streets. So, when you're really from the streets, your skin is a little thicker than cats.
That's right.
Yep. If I fought and jumped around and murdered every dude that said an ill thing to me, man, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
But they stepped in my pool.
So it was not, I didn't take it personal like that. I really didn't take it personal as like he doesn't like me. I don't take it personal as like he has some vendetta or some bone to pick because he doesn't know me and I don't know him. And he always shouts out. I think he was having a bad day. I think he was just on his hostile shit, and I jumped on there. But however, with that being said,
territorial.
It still bumped him. It's right. It still bumped him to the head of my list as someone I really would like to debate because not only do I want to prove that one, that stance you taking is wrong as shit.
Yep.
Secondly, you're arrogant because you just found out what it was and you think you're going to debate it as far as it being a good practice for the people. And thirdly, because you was fly at the mouth, and I'm gonna show you, little homie. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm a,
Yeah, like I don't take none of this shit on
you
YouTube. I'm in the street,
know,
like where I'm at, it's hot as fuck. Any given
yeah,
second, you can hear a hot one fly through the air in my alley. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. This YouTube stuff is like the millennials to me in my mind. It's like real sensitive, real can't really. They take things to a whole new level of
Right. Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
some sort of attack. But when if it can't push the shove, I wouldn't be that type of person. Okay, I'll find. Let me just talk to you quietly, privately. You know what I mean? Not like this, because this right here is like Front Street. This is like a 34-year-old high school, ninth grade level. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well,
Now,
I
they want
mean,
to talk about a
you
motherfucker,
said
but they
the
know
key
they ain't
thing.
ready. You know, they
There
ready.
again, seduction. You said the key thing. That's why I'm patient when I go on certain platforms because understand that they are young people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But however, I will say this: there are some young people on that platform that are very mature in their exchange, even in their
Yeah.
disagreements rather. Usually, when you find people going to those extremes, getting agitated that easily, using that type of language, trying to poke the fucking bear, trying to
Mm-hmm.
stoke, pour gas on a fire or something. That's when I know I kind of got them on the ropes, or they
Right.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
fumbling for shit.
Facts.
And what they want to
Mm-hmm.
do, it's called listen. I I remember these little games. What they call getting in your head. It's
Yeah.
called getting in your head to throw your point of thought, to throw your thought pattern, to throw your chain of thought, or the point you're trying to make. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if they get you out of you, be
Catch
like,
you in
oh,
to catch you in a
yeah,
moment of slipping. You
yeah,
know, think that
yeah.
you're not on your game, and in reality, you kind of know what you're getting into if you've been watching and paid attention to any kind of conversation that has more than a few people on a platform, and some conversations might go a whole different way. You're like, that's how we're doing it now. This is what it's coming to. Let's really talk about this type of shit when we're at like a war with not just white supremacy, also with each other. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of different things going on, emotionally, psychologically, physically. Everybody's got their own private things going on, and off the camera, too. And you got all these factors, stressors, triggers,
What a
and then you
stress.
got an audience you got to attend to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, one of the things is like you said, all of these stresses and these triggers. One of the reasons we have them is because I would say, uh, a lot of times, especially, and I'm starting to get this more and more from the people I speak with, especially
Hmm.
on YouTube. It's we think that we chocolate covered white people.
Yeah, I've defined it as three now.
You know what
I've
I'm
looked at
saying?
it as three different types of black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really, I physically look at it, especially here, and I'm
Break it
like,
down.
man, I'm like, okay, well, I look at it like here. Okay, so you got the ones that we call, basically coons. You know, then there's I also categorize bourgeoisie, Hasiditis differently too. Okay, basically those are the inside comfortable. We're not going outside. We're not gonna change. We don't want to mess things up. We don't want to cause any trouble. We can lose everything types, you know what I mean? But they're not ready for the real serious shit that's happening. Nobody's paying attention to. They're not even listening, or feeling the vibrations of the universe. They're not that they're not awoke. They're not waking up since they went back to sleep after they woke up. They're like, fuck this, it's too hard. I can't do it. Stay inside. Right? Then the you got people like us that want to shake shit up with it knows it's change needs to happen for the people. There's no agenda. There's no clout chasing. It's always gonna be for the people because that's what matters, right? That's how everybody gets free, that's how everybody gets fed. There's a lot of different things. And you come to realize that you don't need everybody at all. Because you first of all, we can't kumbaya. We can't be inclusive. We can't say everybody because everybody is on some other shit. Everybody is. They're confused. Everything is a confusion. You listen to the media, you listen to this, you're on a day-to-day basis confused. Unless you know exactly who you are, where you're meant to be, and what you're actually fighting for, right? The
Hmm.
ones that are already liberated, they already know what they're fighting for, so they want to liberate everybody else. That's kind of like where we're at. Want to fight the system. Fuck this. No, 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 and no. You're not gonna keep um, taking advantage of us and not doing what you're supposed to do. You know, we can't keep living like this because we've never benefited from it. We're not gonna benefit from it. No matter if we throw in religion, any of that shit. The people, right? People like nowadays, whether it's Generation X or the new breeds or whatever, they're on a progressive, forward thinking. So everything else can't really be. You can't really cloud their mind because they have to go forward. Yeah, it happens. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? But we gotta move
Yeah,
forward. At the end of the day, you gotta move forward. And then there's the ones that are like real, like radical, like eye for an eye. Fuck that. No, I'm taking that down. We can't have this. Really calling out the dominant society. Even people that look like us or darker when they're in their white people skin, white people inside skin, or what I mean? They're doing white shit that you would never do, that black people don't do ever, and all of a sudden are conditioned to do because they're scared. They live in a sense of fear, and they're not ready. No matter what you say to get them ready, you can't wake that fear up because it is. Oh, we're gonna be all right. Like they're inside.
it's
They're
easier.
comfortable.
It,
It's comfortable.
it's
And it's like they're
yeah.
not ready to go outside and get on the ground and be out there because it's too much. Like it's too much. Think about it like this. You know how we fight over here. We fight for the unhoused, right? And we know it's a humanitarian thing. It is really a human situation. Anybody and everybody could be homeless, right? In a situation, there's nobody wanting to educate on what to do if you lost everything, right? How do you survive? How do you build a tent? How do you build it with nothing? How do you light a fire? How do you cook for yourself? You know what I mean? There's nobody ready for that. So like all those people that lost the shit in the fire, they had to rely on the do gooder white systems, which is happening. Like I've been going off about it, right? I'm a villain. Fuck it. All right, or whatever. Right?
But that's
I'm a villain, right? So,
yeah,
but the
yeah,
white
that's
people
what it's
ain't
for.
ready. They weren't ready to get up in a tent. They weren't ready to learn how to light a fire with fucking hand sanitizer. You know what I mean? They
They're
weren't
not.
ready. They're not
They're,
ready.
they're, they're not gonna. And see, that's the whole uh point of it, dog. They're not going to have to. We have to. One of the things when we look at like what you're calling the bourgeoisie, and I
Hmm.
look at this with black people, and they're embracing capitalism. First of all, it is a carrot on a stick to a donkey,
Right.
meaning it's a dream to someone suppressed. If you, it's a hamster wheel. If you have
Hmm.
someone in a vicious cycle, but you keep selling them the dream that one day, if they do this, if they comply, if they work hard, if they do all of this, they will break that cycle. It is a dream.
Right.
And many of us will die chasing that dream. And not only die chasing that dream, will perpetuate that dream to our children. Get a good
Yeah.
job. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to get this business for the family, which is a capitalistic pursuit. But in the time of trying to get your own business, really, I'm not going to knock our brothers endeavors who say they have their own businesses. But okay, okay,
Yeah. How do you
okay.
how do you have it? Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but is it to the point? Are you at the point where it really is competitive on in a capital level? Something where it's going to be generational wealth, something where your child isn't going to have to work for a business, or family members can really invest in a business? Are people working outside of your business? Or do you have another job in addition to your business? I mean, are you really competing in this so-called capitalist world? And some may be, and I applaud them. Those are the very few that make it through. And even with their making it through, as far as the capital level, then they're still faced with the race issue. And that's a whole nother discussion. So what I said is to say most of us chase that dream because that's where the salvation lies to us. We don't see alternatives outside of that capitalist system. And since this new generation is a microwave age generation, since it's a Google generation, you know, I'm from an old school generation. Scholarship came with actually studying. You couldn't pick up a device and holler nepotism.
No, that would be like stealing or something like that, right?
Well,
like if you wrote an essay and you took it from Wikipedia or Google, that's like stealing, right?
Back when I was getting into the studies, we actually had real teachers. We sat under people. You know what I'm saying? Because being a student wasn't just getting the information. Being a disciple, the key word of disciple is discipline. Right. There's a discipline that comes with being a student. And a lot of these young people, and I ain't even gonna call them young people because they're men. A lot of these men have the information but don't have the discipline.
And with that, don't you think that well, let me just ask this. I don't know how to ask because I'm tricky shit. Don't you think it would be it would behoove everybody that also to learn things like how to save money, how to actually save money? Because I think that I was watching the podcast. It said black people have money. And they have more money and they started naming all these countries, right? People in the country, but yet they don't have no money. And I'm thinking, is it because we don't have the foundation of learning how to save and double up, like we do. For some people do, if they got that experience, they like double up, save up, build interest according to what the white banks have and all this extra stuff. You know what I mean? I think that it wouldn't that behoove them in order to. Like, I don't know how to budget. I don't know how to do it. Right? I never had no money to where I learned how to put it in the bank. I'm like, what? I got cash.
I think it's even deeper than that, cuz I think it's about it goes into our relationship to the mode of production, our relationship to money. Yeah, we got money because we some working motherfuckers, but we don't have anything to put money back into. You know what I'm saying? And it's by black is not sufficient because a lot of these black businesses and institutions, them being capitalist in nature, don't even put back in their own communities.
No.
They don't live in the hood. When they get these businesses, their aspiration is to get far away from black people.
Right.
They don't think that.
Well, you don't see this really with white people either.
And here's the unfortunate reality. Here's the unfortunate truth. I'm not mad at them because damn near you sometimes got to, because our people will target you.
Right.
See, but there's
a sense of like where does this come from?
Hood. See, but I'm a gangster. I live in the hood and hire goons though.
Right. Yeah, it's come at me like that. We have dialogues. I got principles and I know how to talk to people. So I'm like, you ain't gonna come at me like that. Yeah, you better make me a believer. But what I was really wondering, because there's some, I listen to. I'm sorry, I don't like all up on the thing. This is phone, okay? I was listening to another broadcast with the Panthers. They were giving a whole education about this, right? About how to manage your money, right, or how to save your money. Because what it is that I don't know where it came from. I can't really say where it came from. That we are about we get money, we spend it. We want to be flashy. We want to feel upgraded, right, from where we come from, right. Well, that means we want to look like everybody else. We're how do they say, trying to oppress the other slaves on the plantation, right? How do I say, right? And I was like, where did that fucking shit come from? Because you don't see it in other races. They're building shit. And also at the same time, it's not. I mean, it's. I guess if we haven't learned from that, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to lead that or train
Well,
that because I don't
I
even know how
still,
to do it.
listen.
But I think it's a skill we need to learn.
I'm gonna say this. Into I think it even has to go deeper. I think it's deeper than just saving money. Like I said, it's about our relationship to the mode of production and distribution. When you talk about other countries, okay, like I've lived in cities where you
Mm-hmm.
have other ethnic enclaves. You got other areas, let's say the Hispanic people, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not only do they own a grocery store, but when you go in their grocery store, the products you see are what? From where?
Yeah,
You ever been in a Spanish grocery store?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I got one
Chile,
across the street.
Argentina. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yep.
I
Different
go in there
countries.
because it's close.
You know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
it's open
So
late.
it's relationship to the means of production and distribution. Not only do
Mm-hmm.
they get community, they open a grocery store, they buy from Mexico
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. You go in there, they got shit in there you can't get in no other grocery. They got
Nope.
Telemundo. You can't
Right.
get that in no other store.
Too with that, I noticed that in this one right across the street, it's all Mexican, right? But the
Yeah,
owners are from like Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that. And I go in there because they're always polite to me. I'm polite to them, and I have no problems. I just want a juice, or
yeah,
whatever. And
yeah,
I go in there because it's right here. It's right here. It's close,
yeah,
and I don't feel like driving to like 6 blocks to the Bucky Geek
yeah.
Supers, which is on strike, right? So I'm like,
Right.
wow, I didn't know there was Israeli people or whatever the ethnicity is, running and owning this Mexican store that sells bread. I speak Spanish. I learned it from the TV. That's not even like my second language. I had to learn it from the TV because gang banging. You know what I mean? Better to
Yeah,
know
right.
what you're working with. And I'm like, I just thought I got to speak Spanish in there. No, no,
Yeah,
they're regular people. It's like the Quickie Mart with a Mexican
yeah,
title.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, it's
It's
weird.
capitalism. I mean, they saw right now. Apparently, the Mexicans aren't strong enough to open up their own store. So, like capitalism, you see a weakness in the game and you plug it. It's a high
Hmm.
concentrated area of Hispanics. I'm going to open up a Hispanic grocery store, but I'm willing to guarantee because our brown brothers and sisters have not lost uh, attachment to their heritage, to their identity, to their cultural practices and their social relations with one another, that it won't be long before you see Mexican nationalism or Hispanic nationalism pop up and they're going to own that fucking store. And not just that store, but the houses and everything around that damn store.
Yeah. What do you think about this stuff they got going on with in New York, where the with the I roll my eyes about the voting rights, but to let undocumented people now have the privilege to vote in the United States, and they only have to be here for like 30 days, really, maybe like a couple other caveats that are real
Uh,
minimal to vote
you know,
in local elections.
New York has always been the seat of hypocrisy. So when it comes to their liberal politics. New York has always been the seat of hypocrisy. New York has only had one black governor, and that's because the fucking governor died. The lieutenant governor was black, and he became. New York has only had one black mayor. How long ago was that? Before Giuliani, and Giuliani was one of the when he stopping frisking, he was one of the worst, right?
Yeah.
So after that black mayor, you put in one of the worst fucking damn wet fucking falafel eating, spaghetti eating Italian.
Yeah.
You can put in
He's
all
corrupt like a
in New
motherfucker. They're all
York.
corrupt.
Right. So New York has always been the seat of hypocrite liberal politics. So
Mm.
that shit right there is just, that New York is a fucking joke.
I was like, what the fuck? Why do we even have borders now? Like, hey, we're gonna do all that, and it's just a precursor for this is like the I was like in my mind because we're doing the
Well,
broadcast yesterday.
I'm
Like
gonna
this is
tell
like
you,
a
I
test
find it
for the
funny.
presidential shit.
Let me ask you this: what immigrants was it?
They wanted to focus mostly on the Hispanic Hispanic immigrants that they were talking
Okay,
about.
because
Will have the
I
right to
find it
vote,
funny
including
that
the
they
DACA
just
kids.
sent. I find it funny. Maybe 4 days ago, they just sent 2 plane loads of Haitians back to Haiti.
Exactly, that's what I said. I said, are you gonna call Haiti back and say, "Oh, it's okay now. We need you to
Right,
come back in, as long as you
right.
check that white box"? Because really, I felt like this is my thought process, just in my opinion, just hearing it, right? And I was thinking, why we even have borders? And if that's the case, if you're gonna let undocumented workers here or undocumented people that are non-citizens come in here and vote on your local elections, meaning they can vote who the mayor, the governor, and everything is, right? Okay, cool, whatever, right? I'm like, no, that's not cool, whatever, because we actually gotta, we actually had to do some shit for that, right? When I'm like, I'm like this. Okay, I said, why do we even have borders? If it's only gonna be 30 days, you gotta live in the city to do that, right? You can right off the thing. Are you gonna call Haiti back? Because you are so stripping our black brothers and sisters out like this, but sending in these Afghanistan buffer classes in at the same time you're shipping out Haiti, right? Not to mention, fucking Mexico has been coming in and out fucking forever in all of South America. I'm like, come on now. Are you just gonna say, we met? Oh, my bad. We need you though, because the black people are not going to be voting in the next coming elections. They're finding a way to wait on tangibles and reparations or whatever they're waiting for. But so we know that we can't count on this black vote, which is so desperately needed. So we're going to up our little white buffer class votes. We need you guys to check that box, and you come in here. We're going to let you in. We're going to
Fact.
call Haiti back. So I'm like, hey, come on, in. Huh? Come on
Yeah,
back.
you,
Yep.
you already
Come
know they're
on in.
not.
Come on
You
in.
already know that's not going. You already know that's not going to happen. But it isn't surprising because they have been finding a
It's
way.
fucked
For
up.
into the politics, they have been finding a way to uh, the so-called the not so-called the Republican Party has been finding or attempting to usurp upcoming elections. I know in Georgia, which I keep an eye on, a little bit more politics in Georgia because that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
They're trying the whole thing of redistricting, criminalizing every damn thing. In Georgia, if you give people a drink of water while they're waiting to vote at the polls, that's a criminal act.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I read about that.
It's crazy.
yeah, man. I mean, it's gotten crazy that you have a couple people that have advocated. They have two acts out there. One is the John Lewis Voters' Right Act
Yeah.
and the Freedom to Vote Act. For those brothers and sisters who are involved in politics,
Hmm.
who believe, who bless you, who are involved in politics and get busy like that, I recommend you real, especially if you're in Georgia. I really
Yeah.
recommend you check out what's going on. Uh, and if you're in the voting, really get to that because they're trying to take your power. Also,
Yeah.
another point I
We're
want to
lucky
put
we
out.
live in a state that they're not allowing that. They don't allow that. I'm like, man, why, me, I'm like, why the fuck we even having this discussion? You just take your motherfucking ID, go vote. If you want to vote, vote. You know what I mean? That's what that was we're able to. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah,
vote all the way
I
to the
mean,
last day.
man,
Change
our
your own
people
shit up.
listen. When you've been beat up, it's like you ever seen somebody in a fight that got beat up so bad that when you come to try to help them or you come around and they just start swinging and knocking everybody out.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what that, that's what we do. If somebody wants to vote, let them vote. We will spend so much time jumping on someone about trying to exercise some type of little authority over their lives or whether it's false or not. You know what I'm saying? Someone getting out and being active and participating about something in their life, we will attack and browbeat and beat them down mercilessly.
yeah.
And here's the problem I have with that. What alternative have you given them?
Right,
I
Yeah.
mean, like if you're saying don't vote, what's voting do, this and that, what alternative have you given them? I
right.
am not an advocate of apathy. I am not an advocate of laziness. I am not an advocate of just sit back and don't do nothing because you
No,
don't think anything fucking works. I
No,
don't
you
care.
got
You
that's
gotta get
something
out
that's
there and do a rain dance, nigga. Do
hmm?
something.
It's like you got to participate in some way. I mean, it
Some
really, every waste, it would be a waste for the people that really fought for that shit. It would be a waste if you didn't. Not that I'm a Generation X individual. So I'm like, when was mediocrity a fucking standard? No, not everybody was a winner. Not
yeah,
everybody could do it. You worked hard. You were instilled with that ethic of I have to work harder for a
yeah,
whole bunch of reasons because maybe they don't think I'm smart enough or maybe I'm not ever enough or blah 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 whatever the reasons are. I got to work harder just to prove a point that I can do this. You know what I mean? And so now it's like so easy just to sit back and be like, because we push on our stuff. Hold your vote until they have something tangible to offer you as a black person, right? Not for everybody else,
right,
just black people, right? And that's a serious thing. That includes us too. With him running for office, he don't have nothing to offer them. Why would you vote for him, right? Maybe that's
right.
what that's the belief system. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what are you gonna do? Even what's the solutions? Like in my mind, I can't give everybody the answers. Somebody's got to use their own brain. Even if I have all the answers, right? Why should I continue to keep leading you to the water, but you don't want to drink it? You know what I mean? I'm wasting my own energy. I know I'm an achiever. You know what I mean? It's up to you to want to fucking fight for your own life. You know what I mean? I can only tell you so much. I've shown you better than I can tell you if you want to do it or not. How much do you want to save your own rights, your own life? What are you willing to fight for? Those kind of questions. And the now where everybody's so comfortable behind the computer and shit that they don't have that drive, that function to go and figure out what kind of solutions you could actually bring to city council, even if it's only for 3 minutes on public comment or whatever. What are you going to bring? What are you trying to do to change the circumstances for the people? Even if it's just a small group of fucking whatever people that you believe in, the revolution, whatever. What are you going to do to try to help them? How are you going to participate on a system that's already imploding right now? Everything's fucked up. And that's their fault. And I'm like, let it burn down so we can rebuild it. They're like, no, freaking out. Hey, look, it might be a fresh start. When a fire come through and wipe shit out, what happens? You got to rebuild. Maybe we'll rebuild it the way we need it to be built. For us, black's not on the bottom no more. You feel me? But though everybody's fearful and scared, it's like, the fuck you gotta be scared for now? We're in 2022. 2022.
Damn.
Things have changed. We can change our narrative. You know what I mean? We can do it. Fuck them. Who cares? I wouldn't listen to them anyway. I'm following the North. I'm out. You know what I mean? This shit is abusive. I don't want to be abused by the fucking oppressor no more. What am I gonna do? What am I
Man,
gonna do?
my shit.
Sorry. Passionate moment
This
right
you
there.
know I just shut it down. For I close. All right. I know. All right, brother.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, what happened? He's having trouble seduction. Do you know how to fix his mute? Because he's mute. Something's going on with his mute
Did we
button.
lose everybody?
Yeah, he's having trouble. Hello, hello, selection. You there? Hello.
Uh, Black Sun, are you in here still?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can see
Yeah,
the see myself and like one other person.
yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, he was having technical difficulties. He couldn't get off mute. I don't know what's going on. Damn. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Let me see if
freaking out.
gang, you there? Okay, I think he came back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. I
Okay.
can hear
I
you
don't
now.
know what that was. I don't know what that was about.
Oh, that's
What's
yeah.
up, Jay? Happy C Day, cuz. That's what
Well, family, I'm
seduction
just
was
sitting
telling me.
here. I
Jump
don't know.
on
I don't
and
know
say,
where
man.
everybody went. I don't know if I need to tap back in and tap back out.
Oh, we hear. I don't think she can hear us. Damn.
Tell you what though, using the StreamYard on the phone, mad different than on the computer.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
Yeah,
true.
she don't know
Yeah,
if she's still on.
yeah,
Seduction. You still there?
yeah. I don't think she can hear us for a reason.
Yeah, she's still there.
Yeah.
But no, she was, and talking about when we talk about that's what we talk about capitalist interests, and we're talking about the consumer, us being consumer capitalists, and our money going back traveling in our neighborhood. Yeah,
It
we
still
have
looks
the
like
money.
I got like all both of you in here, but I can't hear nobody.
Oh.
We can hear you.
Definitely can't see no one. The little emblems moving or nothing. So I don't know
We can hear
what I
you.
should do.
So I'll mute her mic for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Damn, I want to
Got it
know.
on
Yes,
mute.
we can. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tap back in, tap back out. Let's see if that'll
Okay.
work.
All right.
I don't know what happened.
So like we said, like I was saying, man, it just from the perspective. And so it's hard to look, it's hard to see yourself. I forgot mainly what I was talking about.
Oh shit. We damn.
We're all over the place. We
Yeah,
start
we were.
first with the first topic.
Yeah.
I
think
hang out for a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think seduction was she was the last. So yeah, yeah, what were we talking about, man? My mind is goddamn scatterbrained right now.
Wow, man. We was all over the place, man. Just having a build session, which is good, And like I said, I wanted to do it because I wanted an opportunity to come to my page. I want to start doing my page more and provide a platform. Like I said, the One Tribe Initiative. Everyone is not going to agree with me. I already know that. And I look forward to the dialogue, to the exchange of information, to the challenge of championing Black nationalism, which I absolutely believe to be the solution.
Right.
Let's go into that a little bit. Because Black nationalism, I'm finding you said something that was funny as hell, son, when you and I were talking the other day. You were like, people think Black nationalism is a building.
Right.
Where do I get that dose of Black nationalism?
Right.
That shit is hilarious.
Right. What's the address so I can put it on my GPS? Yeah.
Right. So I think that's why it was important for me, and I appreciate shout outs to Queen Nundy for putting that.
Sorry about that. And can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello?
Uh-oh, she dropped off. Putting that program together with Martin, putting that program together where we had Martin Delaney and Phil Marshall, George Jackson. I thought that was right on time.
Yep.
And one of the reasons it was right on time is because we needed to know who the father of this Black nationalism was and where Black nationalism came from and how Black nationalism was birthed. When you know the cornerstone of it, when you know the base ingredient of it, then you can add your brilliance to it, and you will know.
I'll tell you what. Can y'all hear me?
From it, or what to distract from your lifestyle, what is contrary or anti-Black nationalism.
Right.
Okay. Hey, somebody can hear me. I was like, are you still in here? I'm so sorry. How you doing?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry. How you doing, Black Son?
Hey. Yo, you can hear? Okay, cool. Hey. We can hear you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know how to use this phone thing. I'm all over the place. It's like me on patrol with shaky camera and shit.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? How you doing? I'm sitting here quiet. How you doing, sir?
Yeah.
So now now we're breaking down. Damn, seduction. You made me lose my thought.
Okay. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
How's life? How you doing?
Hey, yeah,
I
we hear you
forgot
now.
seduction.
How you doing?
Se- Can you
How are
hear
you
us?
doing?
Seduction.
I think her earpiece. Can you hear us, Seduction?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear
Hello?
us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
Yanga?
us?
No.
Yeah. Can you hear us, seduction?
Dang, you can't hear Yanga though.
No.
She can.
Oh
Not
shit.
at all. So
Damn.
tap back in, tap back in, tap back out, tap back in.
Shouts out to Sister Nundy. Seduction, you got tap out. You got to work on
Can
your
you hear him?
technical and stop. Listen, you be coming in on my little dialogue. I be like on my little flow, man.
That's fucking weird. I don't know. Can you hear him? Can you hear him?
Yeah. I can hear him. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Should I tap back out? I'm gonna tap back out. Come back in.
Okay.
Now, once again, I've forgotten what I was talking about. She's
Yeah.
killing me.
God
She is damn
damn.
killing me. Oh, black nationalism. Appreciate it,
That's right.
Mellow Cap. So we talking about black nationalism and the foundation of black nationalism and that philosophy. And like every philosophy, you have a founding father. Like the revolutionaries or the communists and the socialists will go to Marx and Engels. Like, what other like I can't think of other philosophies and founding fathers right off the top of my head. So black nationalism, Martin Delaney is that for us. It
Right.
serves as the core to what we build off of. And so we found was the reaction to, the response to white supremacy in all its forms, shapes, and fashions, in all its institutions. Capitalism being a institution or a structure of white supremacy is held up by what they call superstructures.
Mm-hmm.
What is a superstructure? What is a substructure or a superstructure to capitalism, white supremacy? Schools, police, hospitals, anything that furthers that machine. And Martin Delaney saw that. He saw where black people would never fully find liberation in trying to be included in this system that was based on criminality from the beginning.
Facts.
I'm not even talking about capitalism. Capitalism is just an instrument. I'm talking about the whole American experiment. The building, the founding of a nation off of genocide. I mean, something that rolls off our tongue so lightly that once a people inhabited this land, they were plentiful people. Now, how is it that you can live your whole life having never seen a Native American?
Yeah.
Your whole life. Some of you will have never met a Native American.
Absolutely.
That's a crime. That should be a crime. And not only never have not, listen, I made it upon a lot of everybody likes to talk about, I knew this indigenous movement popped up. Everybody went to professing that they were natives to indigenous. And I challenged how many of them have been to a reservation. I've been to one. And my going to one resulted in my joining AIM, American Indian Movement. There's no way you can profess all this indigenous blood and native and have gone to a reservation. First of all, if you haven't gone to a reservation, shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
We have to move past lip profession. just saying some shit because it's cute. If that's what you're professing, go to a reservation. See what they've done to your relatives. See the effect of government, of this capitalism you're talking about, you're advocating and endorsing. Go look at your relatives. Even if you don't profess them as relatives, go look at other human beings that were once numerous, that had a way of life, that lived harmoniously with the earth. They didn't bother anyone from all historical accounts. Yet when you go find these people whom white culture, white proximity, white social interaction, who was visited upon them, go to their reservation, look at the illiteracy rate, the alcoholism. You want to talk about their participation in capitalism, what capitalism has done for them, how capitalism is good for the people? Yeah, they got a casino. That they have to beg the same oppressing ruling class, the same white faces to come and gamble on their land and buy their heritage for pennies. Let me put on a dance for you. Let me put on a native dance. Why, if I was the natives, I'd be doing a die right now cracker dance right in their face. Woo, 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 woo. That's the shit I'd be on. Die now cracker, die now cracker,
die now cracker, die now. And your house niggas, and house niggas.
And house niggas. All the motherfuckers that got me out here exploiting my culture. Having taken a once great culture, a mighty people, now I got to put on a fucking minstrel show for crackers. It's a travesty. It's a goddamn shame. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you got these people. I'm indigenous, so they don't go look and see what this same white man, this same system that they're championing, that they're advocating, has done to these great people. That's America for you. So not only did it come and practice genocide through what? Chemical warfare. Chemical warfare masqueraded as friendship. Come on, y'all remember this in history? Smallpox in the blankets. What? Y'all don't, this is elementary. I know I'm not saying nothing profound. I know I'm not dropping no professor lessons. You do know the white boys and white girls pretended friendship and gave them blankets during the winter infested with disease. Why, he's a devil. The cracker's a devil. Yet you champion. This is your America you champion. This is the system that you champion and advocate. This is what it was built on. It's historical. It's factual. But that's not enough. Why? Because we've damn near wiped a whole population of people out. Genocide. Yet you want to charge Hitler and not you fucking hypocrites. But anywho, we've wiped the people out. So, and side note, why did they persecute Hitler? They did the same thing with the Indians. Why persecute Hitler? You know why? Because Hitler did it to white folk. Can't do it to white folk. Can't do it to white folk. That's when they termed the coin. That's when they coined the term genocide. When Hitler did it to white folk. They had to make that a law. They got to name this shit. They've been doing it forever. So we find that once they've done this to the Native Americans, practiced genocide through chemical warfare and outright barbarity and savagery, their nature, what they do, then what do we find? They say, damn, this land is plentiful. This land is this, and them being some weak. Everybody talking about they superior to us. What? Them being some weak back, dying off, underdeveloped, poor health, having cave dwelling crackers. They had to go find the strongest people on the planet Earth because they had tried people before that. I'm not going through I'm not chronologically going through the history. I know I have scholars on here. You guys can back this up. The fuck? You know they tried white folks, indentured servants. Them crackers was falling out and dying and shit. Because they ain't made of shit. Little pink motherfuckers. Then they tried the Native Americans. No disrespect, but you ain't black. And props to my Native American ancestry. Not only was you not built like black people, they couldn't fuck with you when you ran off in the bushes. You was home. Let them run off. Let them try to enslave you and chase you in them bushes if they want to. Many white folk learned a lesson about that. Many white folk learned a lesson about chasing behind the natives, the indigenous.
That's right.
So this white man, see, you have to understand laziness. Well, I'm not going to say laziness is the mother of invention because, you know, we need, but if you're trying to find a way to make something easier, your mind starts to work. Now, if you're righteous, if you're live in harmony with the universe and the earth, your creativity is going to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a devil, if your very nature is that of robbery, is that of pillaging and ravaging, of savagery, then what you create, the method you use will be born out of that. And so we find them in this plush land, all these resources, instead of them, you know, inventing the a plow or a more productive means, they say slavery. Why not? Let's enhance slavery. It was already introduced. They already had it. They already understood the concept. But this devil built on a wicked premise, on a wicked institution. This is what they do. And so through all of that, we have what we have today. And somehow black people want to divorce their very real role and unwilling participation in the development of America and turn it into some, like, all of a sudden, if we participate, it will spell anything different. Malcolm X said, if you put kittens in the oven, it don't make them biscuits. The fuck? Because you participate in an illegal, rotten system, all of a sudden they're gonna make it righteous. It just makes you a participator, a black participator, a melanated participator in a corrupt system, hoping for some type of good outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to find that. So what black nationalism gives us is it starts anywhere you find nationalism. Nationalism in itself, the very concept of nationalism is centering your people around your activities. You move as a nation. Centering your activity around your people, rather. So you start to develop. So nationalism says when you find countries waging revolution, you hear them say that they tried to nationalize their resources, meaning they stopped outside countries and developers from exploiting their natural resources for pennies on the dollar. because you had a few collaborators, you had a puppet government selling the natural resources to big corporation for pennies, as long as their personal bank accounts were getting fat. So when you begin to nationalize the resources, what that meant was the people took over all the fucking industries. Shell thought they was coming over here doing business with the government. Private industry got a little personal shit. Nope. Shell's not going to get private oil out of here. Nobody's going to get private diamonds. Everything coming out of here is nationalized. We have developed an institution. We have taken over the state and developed an institution that everything that goes out is going through this institution. There is no more private backroom deals because the people are getting robbed. Then what's the beauty of that? You can regulate. If you have private ownership, you can go in and set the wages for what I'm gonna get you to get that oil out of the ground for, and what I'm gonna pay it for. Pay for it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I got this puppet government, and state is only the apparatus. It is the apparatus to keep the ruling class in power. So now I got this government to enforce this robbery of the people. And a revolution comes, overthrows that government, takes over that institution, and says, now when shit goes out of here, it's not going to be private. It's not going to be behind closed doors. It's going through this institution. We know how much is going out, what's going out, and we regulate it. Therefore, to get that product here, I can regulate also salaries for my people working it. No longer can the people be exploited. When you nationalize, you begin to slowly erode the classism. And what we want to do is go back to a pre-capitalist state, a communalist existence. Human beings existed before capitalism.
Yeah.
I know at times it's hard to believe because we have existed in it for hundreds of years now. Because capitalism isn't as old as you think. Before capitalism was feudalism and all that other shit. So, but since capitalism has been so aggressive and so domineering and dominant in its establishment, it seems like it has been forever. You know, and this is what the challenge is, man. But I could go on and on for days, you know, and it's hard to really, for me anyway, I'm not going to say it's hard. It's just my inadequacies and my inability to break it down to the layman's terms that really where it's just comprehensible. And because some of it is just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you really about the plight of black people. Now, if you do like a lot of our brothers do, which is use the plight of black people synonymous with their individual plight. I hear them doing that a lot. Well, black people, because I saw or because I got, so black people, you know, they use nigger synonymous with black. There's a lot going on. And I think that that's the first thing that we have to do is take control of the motherfucking narrative. We have to define what's acceptable. You know, we don't say that niggerism is black culture. We say that it's an aspect. I would challenge that all people have a baser side of who they are. Unfortunately, the world thinks our baser side is entertaining. So they give us dollars to display it. You know, when the Italians display their baser side, it's on some mafia shit. That is probably insulting. We so niggerish, we don't even know. That's probably insulting to law-abiding, you know what I'm saying, everyday Joe Blow Italians. They I don't know. You know, I question. They probably hate that stereotype. You know, it's probably like thinking every Chinese person could find. I used to hate the stereotype every black person could play basketball. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yep.
I get out there, man. Shit, that ain't my forte. But I'm joking. You know, I'm making light of it. But on a serious note, no, really. So the world, for whatever reasons, finds our base side entertaining, and so they throw money at it, and they encourage that buffoonery. They encourage uh, that type of clowning, and it is an embarrassment. I do understand why we come at it. I do understand why we tackle it. I've never said we shouldn't do that. I've never said sisters shouldn't check men on where brothers are falling short. However, I question the intentions behind it. Are they reminders or attacks? Are they for betterment or are you trying to tear me down? You know, and that's the whole different. I think that's the difference between it. And I believe that people are not really being honest with themselves, or maybe not even conscious that they're doing that they're attacking and not edifying, not building, not trying to encourage. And part of that is escapism. You
Yep.
know, if I go hard on black people, maybe the oppressing ruling class won't see me as one of them. And when you tell them that's what they're doing, when you tell them you're being a nigger, you're saying I'm being divisive by separating nigger from black, and I'm being distinctive. I'm making distinctions. What is actually happening in a lot of instances, you're being divisive. You know, those people are actually being divisive. You know, not trying to find common ground and commonality, not not understanding that at the end of the day, like I said, we're all tied by the black experience. Now, what route or what role you will play in the black experience, black man or nigga, civilized man, uncivilized, lightened or unenlightened, is purely your decision and your choices. I believe in freedom. However, we are living in a time where those contradictions are gonna be a super apparent. You know, and we'd be foolish not to point them out. Oh no, the point I was saying about the black experience. So we'd be foolish not to point them out, and we point them out because we have to make the distinction clear. Because us black people are getting killed for niggas. You know what I'm saying? We getting killed. We're being mistaken for niggas and getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make the distinction between what is acceptable behavior and what is not. All the while not giving our enemy, not saying it's cool to kill us, that this is inherent. This is no, we're talking amongst ourselves and we're letting you know that certain behavior is nigga behavior. And I have to make the distinction between all types, between the straight nigga that's out there clowning and the nigga that masquerades as one who is offering constructive criticism or help, and all the while trying to really denigrate black people to such a degree to say that we're hopeless or that the issue is lost on us, that we're a lost cause. I'm pointing out that is niggerism as well, because it feeds into the stereotype of the oppressing ruling class. So that's niggerism. Anything that confirms that white people are superior to us is niggerism.
Absolutely, that's a fact.
Is that a fact, brother?
Hell yeah, that's a fact. God damn.
Yeah. So if you're out here acting a clown, uncivilized, buffoonery and shit, that's niggerism. And if you're coming down on black people to the
Defeatism.
degree confirming what white people saying, amening and grab ass and then high fiving white people, that's niggerism.
Defeatism. Don't forget that shit. That's
Defeatism, all of that falls under niggerism. I'm gonna
Mhm.
do it. You know what? When I get to Atlanta, like I said, get this shit situated. I want to start doing presentations. I like that shit.
Absolutely. I like it too, man. I like it too. It's I mean, it's really powerful. It's I feel like a goddamn professor sometimes.
Hey man,
I ain't gonna lie.
hey, I heard that because I want to do one on niggerism
Okay.
and
I like
the
that.
different substructures of niggerism.
I like that. I
Real
like that
shit.
already. Yeah.
Real shit. You know, because it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Look, you know me. You know I'm only the hour or two guy.
Yeah, yo,
I
me
just like,
too.
yeah, I just like to jump on for a minute. I want to thank everyone's seduction. I want to appreciate you coming to panel. I'm gonna let me see. I have. Why do you think government is so scared to end the capitalist and color class system? White supremacy. The government, the state, is an instrument of the ruling class, the white supremacists. I have a book that I'm gonna come out of. I'm gonna start reading from. It's by Ernest Mandel, and it's a late little book. It's a little introduction. It's called From a Class Society, and it's a light introduction to a little bit of Marxist teaching, but some Hegel, some just different little things. And it's a pretty good little book. And I thought it was, and I was going through it because I hold political education classes for the party, and I'm looking for some things to really bring the party up to speed. And I think this is going to be a pretty good book to probably go over a little bit sometimes on YouTube because it talks about the construction of the state and um, the purpose of the state.
Mhm.
So why government is not going to get in the capitalist and color class system? The state is there to push the capitalist system. This state is, and the color class system is to. This is what makes America so unique. This is why other capitalist countries are envious of America because America, uh, with that white and black thing,
Mhm.
mastered mastered it. So they have interwoven the race issue in the class issue. So even if you escape a certain what you believe to be a certain economic class, you still find the race issue. So the way black capitalists want to deal with that is create a mirror image of white society. That's why they advocate black capitalism. They want to create another black Wall Street.
Hmm.
But what they're not saying about these black Wall Streets and these black places is the same way you Negroes do about Egypt. You do know everybody wasn't a fucking pharaoh,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay. So when you emulate capitalism, even in black capitalism, you're still going to have the lower economic class. So even in a black Wall Street, you still had poor blacks. I'm going to need y'all to know that.
Mhm.
Everybody wasn't living high on the hog, or it wouldn't have been capitalism. Capitalism, by the very nature of it, must have a consuming class. Capitalism is based off a surplus. You must have people consuming. And the type of capitalism we have today, it is not primitive capitalism where you produced and sold your own surplus. When they introduce money into, we're going to have to go through the whole evolution of capitalism. I see that.
Man,
When
let's
they
do it, man.
introduced money into capitalism and mode of exchange, not straight, I got some extra tomatoes, you got extra corn, but money. Then you introduced a new class, the money
Mhm.
changer, who didn't just exchange for his needs, but exchange for further profit. They bought in buying and selling. Oh, I'm gonna have to have a capitalist class on her, son.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, facts, facts.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you might have to
Because
do it.
you guys are screaming capitalism and really not looking at the evolution of capitalism. And capitalism must continuously evolve to stay relevant. And what we find is it's losing its relevancy. I will say I want to see this debate between I think it's Chris and the brother Strap about digital currency, because I'm into that.
Yeah,
I've just
yeah.
got into it. Shit. But I do believe it's capitalism. And I'm looking into it like, whoa, what is this? So I do believe it's an extension and evolution of capitalism right now. But I see though, that's why I say I want to see Strap, because I don't know everything. I'm just learning about it. The more I study, I do see how it has the potential, because this blockchain and this type of thing is people backed. So it isn't federal regulation and certain things. So I'm just learning about it. I really don't want to speak a lot on it. I can't wait to see that debate. That's going to be super interesting. But yeah, so capitalism. So I don't think, since we're consumer capitalists largely, I don't think some of these brothers, when they're advocating and championing that, they're looking at what capitalism came from and what it's going to evolve into, or trying to evolve into, or what, from my understanding and how I see it, the inevitable collapse of it. Pure capitalism has been diluted. You know what I'm saying? You can't survive on the state. The fact that you can't, the welfare, food stamps is a small example of it, that the state had to implement a form of social care for the people. State had to intervene. Why? Because pure capitalism relies solely on the goodwill of the people, and history has shown that that ain't shit, especially coming from the white man. See what I'm saying? So the state, as capitalism evolves, it had to incorporate some social, not just social, some social programs, welfare programs, social care programs. It had to. So that's what I mean. So eventually we will see, as resources dwindle, we will see more and more regulations put into place. They're not going to, it's going to be essential. It isn't going to be no longer, is it just on people's whims? It's going to be necessary. It's sad that we have to go this far and wait and just watch the rapid deterioration of the earth and the human being through health and social interaction, just everything. It's sad we have to, because we're so fucking greedy and materialistic blindly, especially black people with no fucking clue. Like, it's frustrating. However, I can't be a defeatist. I can't give up. Why? I'm black. Impossible. What other choices do we have but find a solution? And there is a solution. I've seen the sparks of it. I broke out of the damn matrix of buying into the history they gave me, this integrationist history. This history that promotes defeatism. You can't win it any other way. And every time they show us revolutionaries that have challenged the system, they show them to us dead, incarcerated, or insane. But I peeked through the matrix. I had a wonderful father and great teachers and spectacular comrades who refused to buy the mainstream line about black self-determination, independence, and or that vehicle called black nationalism, that this can be brought about, that the fruition of black power can be had, the real fruition of black power, not just some jargon, some rap, some rhetoric, some real shit. And we show you, and I can't wait to Queen gets her things up and running, and I'm in a position to do presentations to show you more heroes and sheroes like George Jackson and so on and so forth that did fight. For those that keep saying we fumbled the ball, no, they're not going to show you that, because they don't want that taught. They don't want that to be a main line pushed. They don't want us to take it as a protracted struggle. They're always going to teach you the alternative to that. They don't want you to take that on. They always want you to think that these people that they're parading in front of you were the only people we had. I agree with you, pussies. Excuse me. Not to refer to the, we're not supposed to call people that. Only is that politically correct. Try to be politically correct. Weak ass people then. Yeah, I'm not mad at you. I would say the same thing. Brothers are weak, niggas are weak. If I use the same example, if I bought into the integrationist line, if I held Dr. King and the rest of these people up to, I would say, yeah, we ain't never fought for shit. We never did shit, because you've never been introduced to revolutionary and freedom fighters. Shit, motherfuckers been fighting now. Don't get it twisted. Don't never get it twisted. And we still fight. Like I said, quoting the great Gil Scott Heron, rest in peace. The revolution will not be televised. It ain't gonna be commercial. The revolution will not, it will not, it will not, it will not. They will never popularize it. They will never endorse it, support it. The revolution will not be televised. It will never win an Oscar or Grammy. It will not be hit the billboards. Not the revolution. Anti-revolution propaganda will be televised. Anti-revolution propaganda will have a commercial. Anti-revolution propaganda will have a spokesman. Anti-revolution propaganda will have a clothing wear. Anti-revolution propaganda will become name brand. Anti-proper revolutionary propaganda Negroes will become popular. This is what we find happening. So why you think revolution is on the decline, why you think black nationalism is on the decline, why you think that we've given up, that we haven't fought or we're not fighting, I just tell you you're mistaken. You're hanging in the wrong circles. You know who you hanging with? All my comrades get down. Queen Nundy get down. I mean, not just on YouTube. I love the content she's bringing. When she's asking you to support and donate to her, when she's asking you to support and donate to me, it's not just to, I mean, it's actual programs, tangible programs going down. Going down. So I don't know where people are that they're not seeing the fight. Just like I said, the revolution is not going to be televised, so you're not going to be able to pull up statistics on it. You're not going to be able to turn on the channel and see all of us and say, the revolution. Nah, it don't happen that way. Man, you got to read Kwame Nkrumah's Guerrilla Warfare. Ernesto Che Guevara's Guerrilla Warfare. You got to understand guerrilla warfare. We have to understand revolution. We have to understand clandestine operations. How the colonized must move. Sometimes we even say too much on these airwaves. Especially for some of y'all that don't know the new laws that be put in effect. I just listen. I try to keep up because I don't want them to kick in your door and we don't hear from you no more. So you have to be mindful. Some of you brothers out here are provocateurs, agitators. Oh, don't think we don't know. We real revolutionaries. We know how it is. We done been in the field, front line with the pig, front line with the Klan, and then the agitator throw the fucking brick. Hit the police in the face with the brick. Yo, niggas ain't doing shit, throw the brick. He's the agitator. You can't find that Negro when the punches and blows and everything come to blows. He ain't even go to jail with you. That's what some of you do. You agitate. You agitate. You provoke. You say these things to try to provoke some type of counter-revolutionary, reactionary response out of seasoned revolutionaries who know the law, to have these alphabet boys kicking in your door and you disappearing forever. And you think I'm gonna put myself out there and half you don't know the political prisoners locked up now. What? But you want all these champions. Name me 5 political prisoners. Talking that shit we ain't fought. Name me 5 political prisoners. All that jibber jabber and y'all yapper. But want somebody to follow. You ain't fighting for nobody, nigga. Y'all need because y'all ain't got nobody's back. When's the last time you wrote a political prisoner? That's why I said name me 5. We don't understand or comprehend the dynamics of the struggle we're engaged in right now. The revolution ain't stopped because they came after a revolutionary group like the Black Panther Party. You thought that was the only black revolutionary group? The teachings and the theories didn't change. Like everything changed, things in mode. The revolutionary has to wait the time and push it. It may not be in my lifetime. That is a very real, very, very real possibility. It's shaping up to look to be a reality. I'm closer to the grave than I am the cradle. So I understand that. But when I study revolution, I understand that there's been no revolution overnight. I look at the People's Revolution of Vietnam. That revolution went, I think they beat 2 imperialist powers. Didn't they beat France too? Before America, I listen, I'm off a little bit, but I believe they beat 2 imperialist powers. And we understand protracted struggle. So the revolutionary understands, the black nationalist understands protracted struggle. This is why the black nationalist understands, or the revolutionary understands, that this must become a lifestyle. That we must embrace a lifestyle of resistance. And it starts with, like my man Son, I'm always giving shouts out to Son and props to Son and why he's one of my comrades, because he's beneficial to bring a reminder that the revolution starts with health. You can't fight if you can't fight. You dig? You can't fight if you can't fight. You're out of shape. You're overweight. You can't walk a mile when you should be able to run 3. You can't, you're just, due to your age, your body and your actions are not adding up. You're just mismatched. And all it boils down to, for a lot of us, is not some physical disability, but just poor lifestyle habits. Poor lifestyle habits. We're doing things that are super destructive. And I think once we start having proper lifestyle habits, we begin, then that goes into our social interactions. We stay away from motherfuckers that are destructive. If I'm watching how I live, you know what I'm saying? If I'm watching the things I do to give me longer life, you think I'm going to keep a sucker in my mix that's bringing destruction and death, premature death, making me sicker? I tried to the best of my ability to stay sucker fucking free. That's revolutionary. Whether you know it or not, that's revolutionary. Some of you not sucker free. I hear you on your panels. Some of you go along to get along. Some of you agree with that sucker shit. You're not sucker free. You know better. Now you know damn better. But you do it anyway. So that's revolutionary. Revolutionary is knowing that you don't have to spend a fucking dime. Nobody can make you spend. You have the choices of where you spend your dollars. And then conscious spending. How many of us spend consciously? How many of us are just really aware of when we spend this dollar, this company we fucking with? Who does this company back, endorse, or support?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Are they committing atrocities in Africa? That's why I had stopped wearing gold at one particular time. I still don't wear gold. Because at the particular time that I had made that choice, Africa was being exploited.
Blood diamonds.
Yes. So I said, let me do my little part to show some international awareness. That's when we were a little more conscious as a people. That's when we were a little more conscious as a people. As generations, as we've progressed, as we've gotten into assimilist lifestyles, which bring on assimilist politics, meaning we really just think we chocolate-covered white people.
Mm-hmm.
The politics we address us like that, not distinctly for us, but like a collective of Americans, so to speak. But when we were conscious, let me tell you how we internationally got involved. I remember when we boycotted Coca-Cola. When black people boycotted Coca-Cola. Do you remember that, son?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When we found out Coca-Cola supported apartheid,
Yep.
black folk gave up Coca-Cola.
Yep.
You remember that, bro?
Oh yeah, they took a big hit too. I remember that shit.
They took a big hit. That was probably one of the last times I can remember we exercised economic power to influence political decision, and not just political decision, international political decision through like I said, economic power and corporation motherfucking bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Coke didn't know how much black people liked their Coke, and how much black people was feeling Nelson Mandela and all of that pro-South African shit.
Yep.
But that's when we had groups like Public Enemy, KRS-One. We had people keeping us aware. Stetsasonic. I remember the song. AFRICA, Tanzania, Zimbabwe. I can't go through Mozambique and Botswana. Now let us speak about the motherland. I mean, that's when hip-hop was educated. And even though we may have not been old enough to vote, old enough really to what's going on, all we heard was, yo, man, coke down with that shit, man.
Yep.
So it was no more coke. Now we find ourselves really believing and biting into the American dream because, like I said, capitalism is such a beast that it has shadowed materialism. Consumer materialism, I should say. Not scientific materialism. Consumer materialism. It has shadowed it. And we measure success by material possession and not by our closeness to production and distribution, but in possession. You know what I'm saying? We measure success in having the Rolex, wearing a Rolex. You feel me? Whereas the merchant, success in how many Rolexes they can sell to you. I think, and all the while, if he's wearing a Rolex, it's just to sell it to you. You know what I'm saying? We put too much emphasis on the wrong thing when understanding capitalism. That's why I say when we start talking about this revolution, one of the first things everybody starts thinking about is what the fuck they got to give up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Right now, what the fuck is anybody asking you to give up? We're asking you to be purposeful, not to be conscious. Fuck that conscious shit. We're asking you to be intentional, purposeful. deliberate. You know what I'm saying? Deliberate in your actions. Know what you're standing on. Stop, Matt. If you're a capitalist, you know, I can accept that, but accept that you're a capitalist. Quit masquerading it as something other than. And some of them don't. Some of them just say shit. Some of them just say it's better for black people. That I don't get. You know, that I don't damn get. So I mean, it's just a whole gambit of shit. Say Nundy, I didn't go into the. We touched a little bit on nepotism. I didn't go too deep into it because I want to save it. Especially I like when you do it. We can bring the slides and stuff like that. So you know, but look, son, you know how we get out, man. I'm going and bring it to a close. I appreciate you hanging out.
Oh man, anytime, brother.
You know, I definitely appreciate you hanging out. So with that, man, I want to tell everybody I appreciate y'all hanging out. Check out. I know I had spoken with the Queen earlier, Queen Nundy earlier today. She said, you know, due to the storm, things just wasn't right. Looking forward to come back on. Check out, subscribe, like this page, The Arena Uncensored. Like I said, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Look out for me coming on next time. Until then, man, all powers to oppressed people, African power to an African people, and black power.
Black power, brother.